Hello everybody and welcome. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the American Moneyball approach in Football Manager. And let's get started with an overview. You may be familiar with the Moneyball approach in modern football, where clubs are focusing more on data and analytics to uncover unknown players around the world. YouTube channels like Musterman have been an excellent resource for Moneyball in Football Manager, showing how you can use advanced stats to find players in the game. But today's video is going to be a little different, and that's talking about how American teams, specifically baseball, used Moneyball to build their squad. We're going to talk about the Oakland Athletics, a team I've watched for many years, and I promise this relates back to Football Manager. In the early 2000s, the Oakland A's had one of the lowest payrolls in the league, meaning how much they can spend on their team. Their GM, Billy Beane, acquired players by focusing on statistics rather than traditional scouting methods. This focus on sabermetrics, otherwise known as Moneyball, changed the landscape of sports. All this probably sounds pretty familiar so far, but there's a key aspect to the A's Moneyball approach that often gets overlooked. Yes, they used advanced stats to sign players, but you see, one thing they looked for is players with flaws. The A's would implement sabermetrics to find players with a certain attribute, specifically targeting ones with flaws elsewhere in their game. A player with flaws means they will be overlooked by other teams and clubs. An overlooked, undervalued player is cheap to acquire. And they were not concerned with the age of a player, as older players were just as valuable to them. Now we're back to Football Manager, and this would mean looking for a striker who can't score, or a winger who can't dribble, or a midfielder who can't pass. And if a striker who can't score sounds like a player you don't want, well, that's what the A's were banking on. They looked for players that other teams didn't want. So after that long preamble, how do we actually apply this to Football Manager? Well, we're going to talk about that in the next section. Our team for today is Sheffield Wednesday in the English Championship. We are predicted to finish near the bottom of the table. Now that we have our team, it's time to implement some Moneyball strategies. The first thing I need to do is figure out how we want to play. By knowing exactly how we want to play, you can target players that fit that play style. For our formation, I chose a 3-5-2. This is a defensively sound formation, which should be good for the tough English Championship. We've got our formation, now it's time to start acquiring players. Let's go back to our formation. One of the most important positions is the wingback. I want to sign a new player, so let's implement some Moneyball strategies to this. The Oakland A's signed players by focusing on a specific attribute or stat they like, and then ignored all the other flaws. And to sign a new wingback, I'm going to do the exact same thing. Choose an attribute I like and then ignore all the other ones. And that attribute we're going to look for is crossing. The ability to cross a ball is crucial for a wingback. There are other attributes that go into crossing a ball, like technique, but I'm just focusing on that one specific attribute. Being in the championship, I'd like that crossing attribute to be in the range of 13 to 15. So I head to the scouting section and I search for players in England. I set the parameter attribute to crossing, with a range of at least 15. This means that my scouts will include players that think they have a high crossing attribute. And I found this player, Adebayo Rowling. He has the crossing attribute I was looking for, and as a bonus, he's great dribbling as well. But you see, he's weak in many other areas, especially for the championship. This is how you can start to narrow down how you want to play. We've got a wingback, and a wingback likes to cross the ball. And what player role do we know that likes to get on the end of crosses? A target forward. I head back to the scouting screen and search for a target forward. All I'm looking for is jumping reach and heading. I don't care about any other attribute. A target forward who can jump and head the ball will be perfect for our new wingback. And I found this target forward, the 34-year-old Matt Smith. Elite heading, teamwork, jumping reach, and strength. Thankfully, the target forward on support won't use his very low acceleration, pace, and agility. With this sabermetrics approach, I ignored the flaws in these two players' attribute sets. Because of this, I was able to sign them for under $50,000, well within my transfer budget. And this is our tactic. A 3-5-2 that focuses on countering, and it utilizes our two signings. In the next section, let's check out some results, highlights, and final thoughts. We're only a few matches into the season, but we've gotten off to a good start. In our League Cup match against a very much lower division team than us, our new signings combined for a goal from our throw-in. In this play, they again combined to help us score a goal. Against Preston, our new wingback scored a goal from a throw-in. In continuing the set piece theme, we head to the 3D view to see how our target forward uses those attributes to head one in off a free kick. In 4 matches, our new wingback has an average rating of 7.5. With Matt Smith, he's got 3 goals and an assist in 4 matches. Now, it's been all fun and games so far, but there's a harsh reality to the American Moneyball approach, and that's your club will most likely have a low ceiling to how good they can be. When you are signing players that are cheap, well, there's a reason why they are cheap. They may have a good attribute, but they have glaring holes elsewhere, and you're basically crossing your fingers that they play well for the majority of the season. So this approach may make it difficult to win the Champions League, for example. So I would focus more for Sheffield Wednesday on finishing somewhere mid-table, which would still be a great year. As a side note, we can see some of our overachievement in our advanced stats. With that said, finishing 14th would still be a decent season for us, considering where we are predicted to finish. But I think there is a way to mix traditional squad building with the American Moneyball approach. So let's go over some tips to how you can apply them into your save. First, it's an effective way to build depth in your squad, especially if you can narrow down the specific skill sets your players need. Second, it's a good way to build up your squad chemistry. Older players with good personalities are easy to incorporate into your team. And finally, the small transfer fee means you don't have a large financial commitment to the player. Most older players can be signed for 1 or 2 year contracts and won't demand a high wage. As we wrap up, I'd like to once again plug Musterman's excellent channel if you're interested in this Moneyball style. He focuses more on stats, so check out his videos if you'd like more info. I've also got a few playlists if you want some more FM videos. And I've got a Patreon account if you'd like to support the channel. Anyway, that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching.